Hey, Shy. Come on, y'all. Let's welcome in Facebook. Welcome to our Facebook family. Amen. Welcome to our Fairway Christian Church family. If you're not here in person, amen, you should be watching us right now. And so we're praying that you are watching us live. Welcome to Feed Your Faith Bible Study, where we're going through the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. It's going to take us some years to do that. So we're going to take our time with it. The goal is if we could do 2 chapters a week, we can. And so we do 2 chapters sometime, but when the chapters are a little long, I normally do 1 chapter. This week we got about 30-some verses, so we're going to do 1 chapter this week, and we'll play it by ear as we move forward. We're making our way out of Genesis from chapters 12 through 50. We're dealing with the Fantastic Four: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and one of Jacob's sons, Joseph. We're dealing with Joseph. He's the final four, or the Fantastic Four. His life is inspiring. His life is one that we can use to glean things from that we can apply to our lives. We take application from the life of Joseph, an exciting man. Where we start out with him when he was 17 in chapter 37, and now we're in chapter 42. We're going to get to a point, a pivotal point, where God is going to teach us about forgiveness. This is one of the most beautiful versions of forgiveness that you ever witnessed, is what Joseph did with his family. Remember, they turned on him. His brothers mistreated him. But now we're entering a point, starting out here in chapter 42, where the beginning of forgiveness and reconciliation is about to take place. As a matter of fact, the theme for this particular chapter is conviction, testing, and the beginning of reconciliation. And so we're going to see a beautiful portrait of forgiveness as it relates to Joseph, how he forgave something that was so egregious that was done to him by his family, by his brothers, and how God was with him the whole time, how we can take these lessons in our lives, in our relationships, how we can forgive people. Y'all do know, like I heard somebody say, man, look, be so nice to your enemies that you irritate them. Be so nice to folk that you know they can talk about you. Bring them a cup of coffee, and they just be so nice to them that you frustrate them. Be so nice to them that you scare them. They may think you are about to blank out. Be so nice. I heard these guys talking about that, and I'm like, I've done it before. Like, I knew folk was hating me, was talking, and I just be so nice. I knew guys that talked about me or whatever, and I see them, what's up, my guy? No, that ain't my guy. Yeah. Like, just be nice, y'all. Like, you already know, just like, what's up? All right. But you know. Yeah. Can I get a witness? Amen. Joseph teaches us so many lessons, and when we finish in Genesis with Joseph, rightly so, because there are images of Christ in Joseph. Jesus is the center. Jesus is connected from Genesis to Revelation. We're going to see that throughout these books we're going to study. And so Joseph, the portrait of him is so beautiful. So forgiveness is highlighted in this text, in this chapter tonight. It begins reconciliation. There's going to be some testing by Joseph with his brothers. There's going to be some conviction by Joseph and some conviction by his brothers in this chapter tonight. And so we're going to see a famine drives Joseph's brothers to Egypt to buy grain. So now, y'all, in chapter 37, when I told y'all Joseph's dreams got him in trouble, he had dreams that the sheaves are like bundles of grain. And he had dreams that these sheaves, their sheaves, his brother's sheaves, were going to bow down to his sheaf, right? Yeah. Now it's about to take place. The dreams that got him in trouble, right, was his gift of interpreting dreams got him out of trouble, and now he's the head guy in the land of Egypt. Right. God has orchestrated this from the beginning. As a matter of fact, Romans 8:28, y'all always remember Romans 8:28. It's a pillow for a weary heart. It says, and we know all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. Joseph's life is the epitome, it's the picture of all things working together for good. Y'all hear me? Like, it don't say some things, because that's what frustrates us. We look for some things working together for good, things we see, things that look good. Yeah. But when it says all things, that means the bad things that are happening in your life. Yeah. That means like, so Pastor Chris, the sickness? Yes. Pastor Chris, the breakup, the divorce? Yes. Pastor Chris, the job I lost? Yes. Pastor Chris, like that $16 an hour I can't seem to get past. I can't make 17, 8. I can only make, yes, because you spending on all the 16. You can't handle the 16. God don't want to give you 18 or 19 because you're going to be more crazy. Money really shows really who we already are. When we get money and we act a certain type of way, you are already like that. Can I get a witness? Man, I'm preaching. This feels good to me. So, Romans 8:28, Joseph's life is a great picture of that. And we know all things work together for good to those who are the called according to the purpose. To those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. His life exemplifies that. So a famine drives Joseph's brothers to Egypt to buy grain. They unknowingly stand before Joseph, who recognizes them, but they don't recognize him. They come like the world was in a famine. 7 years of abundance, remember, and 7 years of famine. The famine has kicked off. So now the brothers from Canaan are making their way to Egypt. They're going to make their way to Egypt. They need to buy some grain or they're going to die. They don't recognize Joseph, but Joseph recognizes him. Remember, Joseph looks like an Egyptian. Bald head like Chris Fairley, shaving face. They said sometimes they would glue a goatee to him, a long, funny beard. They were doing pieces back then. Like, y'all be putting pieces? Y'all. So they unknowingly stand before Joseph, who recognizes them, but they do not recognize him. Joseph tests them by accusing them of being spies, imprisoning them briefly, and demanding they bring their the youngest brother, Benjamin, as proof of their honesty. He wanted to see his brother, Benjamin. Remember, Benjamin and Joseph shared the same mama, Rachel, who had died. He wanted to see Benjamin. Benjamin was his full brother, but Benjamin wasn't with him. Jacob would not send Benjamin. He wanted to protect the baby boy. Can I get a witness? So now Joseph, we're going to see in the text, he's going to be testing his brothers. He's going to see, are they contrite? He's going to see, are they repentant of the sin they committed against him years before? This story is beautiful. So, by accusing them of being spies, imprisoning them briefly, and demanding they bring their youngest brother, Benjamin, as proof of their honesty, he keeps Simeon in custody and sends the others home with grain secretly, returning their money in their sacks. The brothers are troubled, seeing this as a judgment for how they treated Joseph years earlier. Jacob is grieved, and he refused to send Benjamin. This is an overview of the text tonight. So 3 points I want y'all to see, which is the overview of the chapter. You're going to see, put it up for me, RJ. You're going to see the main ideas of the chapter, and we left a word out. It's supposed to be conviction. Conviction confronts conscience. We left conviction off in front of that. Conviction confronts conscience. We're going to see testing, trials, transformation, and we're going to see that fear fuels reflection. Conviction confronts conscience. The brothers connect their current trouble to past sin. God uses circumstances to awaken a guilty conscience. I'm going to say it again. God will use circumstances to awaken a guilty conscience. The family is going to awaken a guilty conscience in these brothers who had done what they did to Joseph. Number 2, testing trials transformation. Joseph tests his brothers to see if they have changed. God allows tests to reveal and refine the heart. You will be tested. Test, reveal, or they refine, or they define what's in the heart. You will be tested on your patience. You will be tested on your tongue. You will be tested on that thing you said that you've grown past. I hear so many people, Pastor, I didn't grow. Really? No, you haven't. Many folks say they've grown because they haven't been tested. I know a couple people, one person in particular, Pastor, I've grown. Now I know this person is really sassy. This person is really cussy night, whatever. This person really can break out in a moment's eye, Bobo. And this person told me that, oh, Pastor, I've grown so much. And then a few weeks ago, I saw that person, I saw her blank. You ain't grown. Can I get with you? Break down in my presence. She didn't know I was in the presence. She was right there. Not in here. But she was like that distance from me. She blanked out on somebody. She told me a few weeks ago she didn't do that though. She was better with that. No, you ain't grown yet. Can I get a witness? It's easy to say, oh, Pastor, I've been grown because you've had peace around you for 2 months or a year. Oh, man, I got it. But then when it happens, the test comes, you fail the test. Third thing, fear fuels reflection. The return money. So we're going to see in the text, when they came to buy grain, but when they left, Joseph, he loved his brothers. He knew they were going to come back. He didn't know how much money they really had. He put the money back in their pouch. They didn't know it. They got the money back along with grain. So this scared them. So fear fuels reflection. The return money causes fear and self-examination. Unexplained situations can drive us to recognize God's hand. Unexplained situations can cause us to recognize God's hand. It hadn't happened to us in a while, man. But a couple times, man, we got a couple checks in the bank. In the mailbox. We weren't looking for them. I still be looking for them. We got that informed delivery on the phone where y'all can get that on your phone where y'all know what mail you get that day. I said, T-Bad, we getting the mail today? She checked the phone. We ain't got nothing coming today. I said, I'm gonna check it anyway. I check the mail every day. Even if they inform me that we ain't getting it, I check it. Can I get a witness? Bobo might send me some. I'm always looking for a check in the mail, Shadid. Always. Y'all start doing it. Always look for something. So let's get to it. Let's go, RJ, verse by verse, chapter 42. It's going to get good. So here we go. I just gave y'all a summary, so this is going to be real clear to y'all. So when Jacob heard that grain was available in Egypt, he said to his sons, why are you standing around looking at one another? Like, y'all know how you talk to the kids, like, what y'all doing? He says, I have heard there's grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy enough grain to keep us alive. Otherwise, we'll die. The famine is great. This is the world, according to the text. The world was defined differently then, but it was a famine across the whole land. And so everybody was coming down to Egypt. So now the story picks up with Jacob and his 11 boys. So otherwise we'll die. So Joseph's 10 older brothers went down to Egypt to buy grain. Remember, Jacob would not send Benjamin. Benjamin was the special boy from Rachel, the one he really loved, Benjamin and Joseph. And so he wouldn't send Benjamin, which was the youngest at the time. So Joseph's 10 older brothers went down to Egypt to buy grain. Now the drummer's about to kick up. But Jacob wouldn't let Joseph's younger brother Benjamin go with them for fear some harm might come to him. So Jacob's sons arrived in Egypt along with others to buy food, for the famine was in Canaan as well. Next screen. So since Joseph was governor of all of Egypt and in charge of selling grain to all the people, it was to him that his brothers came when they arrived. They bowed before him with their faces to the ground. Y'all remember the dream? Chapter 37, Sheila. And that's what that was the dream. So here it's coming to fruition right here. The brothers, now they didn't know who they were bowing to, but Joseph did. It's unfolding right here. So Joseph recognized his brothers instantly, but he pretended to be a stranger and spoke. I would have talked bad to them too. He spoke harshly to them. What y'all, who are y'all? I can see him right now. I probably would have tripped him or something. Right? He spoke harshly to them. He could have done more, right? He could have sought revenge. He could have taken them out. Someone told me a story yesterday. Interesting told me a story yesterday and said when he was younger, he was the younger of 14, 15 children. And so they picked on him. And he said, yeah, when folk messed with him, he sought revenge. He said, lay in wait and get revenge. And I know I would love for him to tell the story, but I'm going to have to tell it. He said, so one day, he said his brother did something to him. He had to have stitches. And he said, I'm going to get him. He said he got the gun, and it wasn't a regular bullet he put in the gun, but he put something in there, and it had some BBs in it that spread. And said that morning, he told his sisters, when we get ready to get on the bus, don't y'all stay clear. He said the boy got ready to get on the bus that morning. This is his brother. Pow! Popped him in the back of the head. He lived. But the bus driver drove off. Everybody was scared. And the point of that is like, he didn't do what Joseph did, right? He didn't just talk harshly. He got revenge. I love that story. It was funny when he told it to me. He was serious though. Joseph recognized his brother instantly, but he pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them. Where are you from? He demanded. From the land of Canaan, they replied. We have come to buy food. Now, we're about to read in a second. Joseph spoke in Egyptian. And he had a translator there. But so he understood his brothers when they spoke in Hebrew, but they didn't know that was Joseph. But Joseph had an interpreter there. He played the game all the way through. Joseph had been in Egypt so long, right? Remember, he looked like them. He was fluent in Egyptian because he was a part of them. So although Joseph recognized his brothers, they didn't recognize him. And he remembered the dreams he had about them many years before. Now, by this time, Joseph, about 20, 21 years, maybe 22 years had passed. So Joseph was around, I'm going to say, we're going to give or take, between 38 and 42 right here. From being 17 years old. And he remembered the dreams he had about them many years before. He said to them, you are spies. So Joseph is trying to scare them and shock them. He's testing them. You are spies. You have come to see how vulnerable our land has become. Next screen. No, my Lord, they scared. These brothers scared. They exclaimed, your servants have simply come to buy food. We are all brothers, members of the same family. We are honest men, sir. We are not spies. Yes, you are, Joseph insisted. You have come to see how vulnerable our land has become. Sir, they said, there are actually 12 of us. So he's testing them, right? They're being honest. They seem to be repentant. And we're going to see more of this in a minute. There are actually 12 of us. We, your servants, are all brothers, sons of a man living in the land of Canaan. Our youngest brother is back there with our father right now, and one of our brothers is no longer with us. But yes, he is. But they think he's dead. But Joseph insisted, as I said, you are spies. This is all part of the test. Next screen. Well, this is good. This is ruby red grapefruit juice. Woo! It's real good. Try it, Jay. Get you right out of it, right in there. Okay. So this is how I would test your story. So here's the test. I swear by the life of Pharaoh that you would never leave Egypt unless your youngest brother comes here. So now you see Joseph. He wants to see his brother. He wants to see his full brother. Same mama, same dad. One of you must go and get your brother. I'll keep the rest of you here in prison. Then we'll find out whether you are not your story. We'll find out whether or not your story is true. By the life of Pharaoh, if it turns out that you have a younger brother, then I know you are spies. So Joseph put them all in prison for 3 days. Here's some imagery of Christ. 3 days. And then the third day, something's going to happen right here right now. But he put them in prison. Now, historians say he didn't imprison them like a normal prisoner, though, right? You know, when you go to jail, if you've ever been in jail, many of us have. I mean, thank God I haven't close, but I didn't. But then they have these holding cells. So they wasn't like doing no harsh time for these 3 days. They were probably kind of in a holdover place, according to our historians, right? So Joseph put them all in prison for 3 days. On the third day, Joseph said to them, I am a God-fearing man. If you do as I say, you will live. This should have been a sign to the brothers. Egyptians didn't believe in the same God. Joseph said, I am a God-fearing man. Them antennas should have went up. It didn't. You know why? They were scared probably. They probably thought it was over. These brothers are starting to remember. They probably are reaping what they had sown with their brother Joseph, right? So, verse 19. If you really are honest men, choose one of your brothers to remain in prison. The rest of you may go home with grain for your starving families. Next screen. But you must bring your youngest brother back to me. This will prove that you are telling the truth and you will not die. To this they agreed. So speaking among themselves, they said clearly. Now Joseph understands what they're saying. They don't think he does because they speak in Hebrew. But Joseph, he knows what they're saying. So speaking among themselves, they said clearly, we are being punished because of what we did to Joseph long ago. So here it is. Y'all see it's coming back? Like they think God is bringing judgment on them now because of what they did to their brother. Now they have a repentant heart, it seems. Sincerely. We saw his anguish when he pleaded for his life, but we wouldn't listen. That's why we're in this trouble. Did I tell you not to sin against the boy? Now the big brother talked. Reuben asked, remember? Reuben told them back in chapter 30, he said, don't kill the boy. Reuben had them encourage them to just put him in the pit. Reuben was going to come back later to get him out the pit. But when he came back, they had sold him to the Midianites. So all this is coming back. But you wouldn't listen, and now we have to answer for his blood. Of course, they didn't know that Joseph understood them, for he had been speaking to them through an interpreter. Next screen. We headed in the right direction. We're almost done. Now he turned away from them and began to weep. Now, can y'all see Joseph? Now emotions coming out now. I'm about to get teary-eyed now. I can see him. Like my brothers are here. Oh, they hurt me so bad. But now they seem to be repentant. I can see all the emotions coming up out of Joseph about what they had done to him. When I told y'all, my brother stole my identity. My brother stole my identity 2 or 3 times. My brother stole my identity when I was in the army. They about to give me an article, what we call in the army, Article 15, because I had violated regulations by having a suspended license. How my license suspended? I ain't never had a ticket, you hear? My brother stole my identity. When he stole my identity, it hurt me. I cried because that's my boy, right? These were his guys, and they were back, and they had hurt him. Now they seem repentant, so now his emotions are coming out. And you're going to see Joseph cry. He's going to weep a few times. As a matter of fact, between chapter 42 to 50, we're going to see 6 good times where Joseph weeps, and a few times tonight. So the brothers loaded their donkeys. Hold on, let me back it up. Okay, so 25. So Joseph then ordered his servants to fill the men's sacks with grain. But he also gave secret instructions to return each brother's payment at the top of his sack. He also gave them supplies for their journey home. So the brothers still taking care of his brothers, even though the brothers did him like they did him. He's forgiven them. This is a beautiful portrait of forgiveness, right? Like folk, like I'm not telling nobody to bounce nobody on your knee, right? But forgive them though, right? You don't have to bounce them on your knee. You don't have to go out to lunch with them. You don't have to exchange greeting cards, but forgive them though. Y'all hear me? Be nice. When you get around them, you don't have to frown. You don't have to do that. Being nice is the best weapon you can have for folk you know don't like you. You hear me? I'm telling y'all, it's the best thing, and it just messes them up, and it keeps you in the right place. Too many of us, too many of y'all, too beautiful, too smart, too kind to let other people take you out of your character. That's what happens to most of us. We allow the influence of, can you imagine if Joseph had allowed the influence of what his brothers had done to him? He would have devastated their lives. Joseph didn't seek revenge on his brothers. He didn't seek revenge on Potiphar, right? Or his wife. Man, Joseph was a good guy. Can we try to do that? Nah, y'all be trying to get y'all boys, man. Okay, so here we go. Where I'm at. Their journey home. So 26. So the brothers loaded their donkeys with the grain and headed for home. But when they stopped for the night and one of them opened his sack to get grain for his donkey, he found his money in top of his sack. Oh, it scared him right there. Next screen. He's like, what? Like, look. He exclaimed to his brothers, my money has been returned. Oh my God, it's here in my sack. Then their hearts sank. Like, God, dog. They're going to think we stole from. They're going to think we didn't pay our fee for this grain. Trembling, they said to each other, what has God done to us? Them folk, them rascals knew God enough. They figured that God was making judgment to them. I don't know about y'all, but I'm very, 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 very scared of God. I'm scared to mess over his people. I'm scared to mess over his money. I'm scared to mess over, I'm telling you, because I feel like when stuff happened crazy in my life, I'm like, man, God bringing judgment on me for something. So now I'm sitting like, man, what did I do? I remember when I stole that candy bar at the grocery store. I thought I had already paid for that, but I mean, just maybe give me some more from that. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, so they understood this judgment. So when the brothers came to their father, Jacob, in the land of Canaan, they told him everything that had happened to them. The man who was governor of the land spoke very harshly to us. Oh, they tell him Pops everything. They told him. He accused us of being spies, scouting the land, but we said we are honest men, not spies. And I'm almost finished. It would be good if I could have went on into the next chapter, but we'll get to it next week. So we are 12 brothers, sons of the father. They tell their dad what they told him. One brother is no longer with us, and the youngest is at home with our father in the land of Canaan. Next screen. Oh, Ruby Red is good. So verse 33. Then the man who is governor of the land told us, this is how I will find out if you are an honest man. Leave one of your brothers here with me and take grain for your starving families and go on home. But you must bring your youngest brother back to me. This is a great tactic of Joseph. So he can see his brother and eventually see his dad. Then I will know you are honest men and not spies. Then I will give you back your brother, and you may trade freely in the land. Now, they left Simeon behind. Now, in this New Living Translation, it said that he told them to get together to discuss who they was going to lead. Some historians say Simeon, which was the second oldest under Reuben, was left behind because remember, Reuben had left them when they threw Joseph in the pit. When he left, Simeon was the next in charge, right? It is said that maybe Simeon could have stopped it. He was the oldest left behind. So now they're saying maybe that's either if Joseph wanted to keep Simeon for that reason, or they decided to let Simeon stay, or he volunteered. The Bible doesn't tell us one way or the other. I just wanted to bring it, highlight that observation with y'all. So, well now, verse 35. Verse 34. 35. As they emptied out their sacks, there in each man's sack was the bag of money he had paid for the grain. Joseph loved his folks. He wanted to make sure this works out. Historians have observed possibly that, of course, Joseph wanted to give them his money back, send them with enough food. He don't know how much money they have because of the famine. And so he wanted to make sure they had some money to come back. So he gave money, just sent them the money back. And I wish I would go in Super Locals and buy me about $100 of food. And when I get back out, my $100 in my bag. And I got the groceries. I know that'll be God, right? Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. This happened. Can I tell you that? I talked to mud. I ain't going to tell that. I know my limits. I don't say everything to you. See, Fanny give me, I ain't going to tell that. But I'm going to say this much. Something happened. And it was crazy. And it was some ungratefulness in it. And something happened. All the money we spent for the ungratefulness, we got it back. Yeah, all right. Then what you better? It was this ungratefulness. And I said, you better. This thing saying, refund it back, refund it back. I said, cool. Gotta do it now. So here we go. So verse 36, so Jacob exclaimed, this thing finished. And this chapter is going to end, not weird, but it's going to end just giving us just enough to get us ready to culminate this forgiveness, this portrait. The portrait is being partially painted tonight, and it's going to be completed next week. So Jacob exclaimed, you are robbing me of my children. Joseph is gone because they're telling him, we got to take Benjamin back with us. Yeah. Joseph like, no, I can't do that. You robbing me of my children. Joseph's already gone. Simeon is gone. So Simeon's back there waiting. And now you want to take Benjamin too. Everything is going against me. Jacob is about to have a breakdown. Next screen. Last 2 verses of the chapter. Right on time. So then Reuben said to his father, you may kill. Now, I don't know what Reuben thinking. Reuben talking about he can kill his 2 sons, which is Jacob's grandson, which is his wife's kids. How you going to put your... But anyhow, Reuben's like, look, we got to do this. You may kill my 2 sons if I don't bring Benjamin back to you. I'll be responsible for him, Dad, and I promise to bring him back. Closing it out right here. But Jacob replied, my son will not go down with you. His brother Joseph is dead, and he is all I have left. If anything should happen to him on your journey, you will send this grieving, white-haired man to his grave. That's closing out chapter 42. Now, this is going to come to pass. It has to. It was already pre-orchestrated by God. A lot of bad things happened to Joseph. I want y'all to think about that. He went from riches to rags, and then from rags to riches. We don't think that can happen to us, but it can. Some of us may be in it now. I told y'all, these gas prices are high. Y'all see what I drove tonight? I'm driving my car till the gas prices begin to go back down. It's too much. Sometimes we can't handle if we find ourselves going from riches to rags. Can I get a witness? In life, sometimes we're going to find ourselves in rag-like situations. What are you going to do? Can we pick up some lessons from Joseph? Can we think about how he handled it, Auntie? Yes. His attitude was consistent throughout. Right. Even in prison, even in the palace, even with his pops, and now governor over the whole land. His attitude is consistent. He trusts God. He's faithful to God. Do y'all hear me? Like, you got to trust God still. You got to be faithful to God still. When we're in riches, hallelujah, we stand and worship. When riches are going on, we'll show up. But when we're in a rag season, I said season. When we're in a rag season, we stop. Joseph didn't stop, Auntie. Even in prison, he served. I could see that rascal in the pit. I could see him in the pit, just worshiping. Even in Potiphar's house, he gave his best. Can we do that, y'all? When we're in a rags-like state, when we're making $15 an hour, or we only want to worship him at 20. Right. For some of us, we set a cap. God, I got you. Give me 20. What? I worship God at Horseshoe Casino making $8 an hour. I thought I was kicking it. $8.50, now talk to me. I know Lisa know. $8.50 an hour, baby. Security, you better hear me. Chief Fatty swear I was a cat dad. She swear I gave her money every week. No, I didn't. That's her story. I got my story. We be trying to argue who was trying to pimp somebody. I told her, Lisa, I had to have a gaming badge, AJ. We had to have a gaming badge. That gaming badge back then cost about $50. Ask me who gave me $50 to get my gaming badge, to get the renewal. You hear me? Okay, so you ain't got that story. You ain't got that story. We clock it. We clock that too. We clock that. That's one of the reasons why she loved that man. You can play if you want to now. She loved that man. I tell you now. Oh, you know what I'm saying? She did it. She got, but anyhow, That's neither here nor there. Rags to riches, like God has taught me my best lessons in my rags seasons, right? And some of us, we don't endure. We forget about the pillar that I told y'all to rest your head on. That's Romans 8:28. And we know all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. That's your pillar, Fairway. All of it works together for good. Can I get a witness? It does. And Joseph is the example. Let me close with this last thing I wrote down. God often begins restoration by exposing the past, because true reconciliation starts with honest conviction. God begins restoration by exposing the past, because true reconciliation starts with honest conviction. He will remind you of some things you've done. He will take you down memory lane and bring you back up to the present to show you this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and now I had that happen, so this can happen. Can I get a witness? I look at my life and I'm able to see why it happened. I tell this story, and me and T-Fatty, we be cracking jokes about it. I'm like, T-Fatty, you weren't supposed to be my wife. I'm like, I never forget this day, Lisa, and Lisa knew everybody pretty much. I never forget this day at Horseshoe Casino. Horseshoe, a lot of things popped off at Horseshoe. And I was dating this girl, and T-Fatty, we got on the bus. She was a hater way back then, but she won. Me and this girl got on the bus, Lisa, and I think they both knew something. They were hating on each other. So me and this girl got on the bus, sat down, she did. And like on TV, you know what I'm saying? Because this girl was prim and proper. And she was very affectionate, and she didn't like that. And she wasn't even my girl. But she said she knew, she was prophesying she was going to get me. So we got on the bus, she had it right behind. She was burning my head from my brow. So we got on the bus with the girl at the time. I ain't got no hair, she just playing all in my head, rubbing me. She hated me. So when we got in the building and I got clocked in, she found me. And because we had been flirting and stuff, and she gonna say, yeah, she cussed too. I'm gonna tell y'all first say she cussing. She gonna say that's so boo. Think she slick. I said, what you talking about? I said, don't you got a boyfriend? They ain't gonna be talking about right now. She thinks she's slick. She gonna make y'all sit down beside me and rub all your head. But they ain't even done it. And she was right. She won. And we trip about that stuff because it's like I didn't think it was gonna be T-Fatty, Sheila. I didn't. She did, but when I look back, how things work together for good, I said, okay. And then when I get a news report that she crazy now, and that she shot somebody, I'm like, yeah, that worked out for the good. Can y'all clap that right there? That worked out for good. So we finished. I'm finished with chapter 40. Fairway, let me Facebook, let me get off, but they cut it up here in person. Joseph gives us an example of how he rested his head on Romans 8:28. And we know all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. Let's take some of what he showed us, y'all, and let's apply it to our lives. I love you. We're going to pick up with chapter 43 next week at Feed Your Faith Bible study. Ways to give are going to come up on the screen. Forgiveness. We're painting this portrait right now from Joseph. Reconciliation, testing, and conviction. We should all experience conviction, and conviction should move us to change. God bless you, Facebook, and we're going to sign out. Can y'all clap for us right there?